Hi and welcome to the first content-based presentation for music, dance and drama. The subject codes for music, dance and drama is MDD12, MD12 and SMD12. Now, my name is Dr. Marie van Skalkwyk. You will find my mobile number and my email on the PowerPoint presentation. And you are welcome to contact me using WhatsApp or SMS or the phone or email. However, please note that my office hours are between 6 and 8 p.m. on weekdays. And if you contact me outside of these hours, I will not always be able to help you. So if you want to be sure that you get me, please make sure that you phone or email or WhatsApp or SMS me between 6 and 8 p.m. on weekdays. Now, this is a content-based presentation for Unit 1 of Music, Dance and Drama, and the unit is entitled Some Basic Music and Drama Perspectives. Now, before we start, you are doing a distance learning course, which unfortunately means that you don't have the benefit of going to class every day and have stuff explained to you. This means that it's expected that you do quite a lot of the work yourself. Now, if music, dance and drama were a subject that was presented at a university where you went to class every day, you probably would have gone to class 3 times a week, and you would have had all these things explained to you. You will always also have been given the opportunity to do all the theories or try out all the theories and experiment with the methods and do everything practically in class. However, this is not the way that distance learning works. And because this is such a difficult subject, what we have decided is to give you this content-based presentations. So keeping in mind that I've just told you that if this was a subject at a university where you would have gone to every day, then it would have taken 6 months, 3 days a week. Of course, we don't have that time to give you a content-based presentation for this unit going in as much detail as you would have gone if you'd gone to class. So how I've made this presentation is I've looked at every single section of the unit. I've given you, if it's a straightforward unit that's easy to understand, I've just given you an idea of what the unit is about so that you have a bigger picture of that specific section. If it's a difficult section or difficult theory or difficult method, I explain that in some greater detail. I hope you are ready and we are going to start. Now, firstly, the aim of this presentation is to clarify the study material as set out in your study guide. At the end of this presentation, you will hopefully have a clearer understanding of the information in your study guide, and any questions or uncertainties you can then put either to your study group or you can contact me and ask. Now, your study guide is like a story. It has got a beginning, a middle and the end. And every single unit in your study guide also works the same way. You need to read the entire unit in order to understand what the unit is about. If you just pick certain sections to read or certain sections to study, you will not understand the entire unit and you will have difficulty to memorize it and you will have difficulty with answering questions. So I urge you to please carefully read your entire unit so that you have the whole picture and then focus on the sections that is highlighted in the exam presentation that you have to study. Now, how to use this presentation. This presentation, in other words, serves as a very basic tool to clarify each section. Difficult theories, models or sections will be explained in more detail, and you need to refer to your study guide throughout the presentation, as often only a broad explanation of the section is provided. So what I'm telling you to do is I'm telling you to have your study guide in front of you as you're watching this, whether this is a book or whether this is on Kindle, so that you can refer to the sections that I'm talking about. Now, Unit 1, we're going to start now. What this unit is about. This unit aims to give you a basic introduction to the use of music and drama in a school setting. It aims to give you information on what constitutes and defines music and drama. In other words, what is music and what is drama. The unit also provides information on the alternative uses of music. In other words, that is when music are used for a purpose other than just listening to it, for entertainment. And it also gives you examples of typical careers in music and drama. In other words, what type of jobs can you do within the music and drama sector? It finally tells you about some famous national and international artists. The learning outcomes for this unit is there's 9 learning outcomes. So what this means at the end of the unit, once you've finished going through this unit, you need to be able to answer the following 9 questions. You need to be able to explain the aims of music and drama education in an educational setting. You need to be able to discuss theories about music therapy. You need to be able to explain the role music plays in people's lives and cultures. You need to discuss the importance of music as a teaching medium. You need to be able to explain the principles of drama. You need to be able to discuss the application of music in sport and advertising. You need to be knowledgeable about some famous historical actors in movies, and you also need to be knowledgeable about some famous performers. Then you also have to be able to explain to learners what careers can be pursued in music and drama. If you have finished going through this unit in your study guide and you are not able to answer all of those questions, it means that you have left out a section or missed a section. Then I would urge you to go back to the beginning of this unit and start from the beginning. Now, we are going to start at the beginning of your unit and work through it. So the first section that we are doing is the aims, is section 1.1, the aims of music and drama education in a pre-primary or secondary setting. Now this section starts off with musical elements. These musical elements are music terminology, and this music terminology are stuff like pulse and duration, tempo, pitch and dynamics, all of those terms that you need to study. Now you are wondering, why do I need to study these terminology? These terminology are the things that creates music. So this is what makes music, what music consists of. So you can call them the building blocks of music. This is, in other words, pulse, duration, all of those things is how you build a piece of music. And this is why you need to know them. Now, to help you understand these terms and to study them, I want you to read through each term, then listen to a piece of music and try to identify what the term is saying, and then read through the term again to see if what you heard and what you read is the same understanding. For example, tempo, if I can use this as an example, is the speed or the pace of the music. Now, in your study guide, you will also see that tempo is determined by the nature of the music, the dexterity of the player, and the complexity of the instruments. Selective use of tempo can create impressions of fear, excitement, and calm. This is the definition of tempo. So what you need to go now is you need to find a piece of music and listen to it. So now you can listen to it. Is it, what can you tell? Is it a complicated instrument? That's why it's maybe a slower piece of music. Is it a piece of music that is trying to calm you down, and that's why it's a slow tempo? So listen, read your terms, listen to the music, read your term again, and see if you understood it correctly. Okay, then after you have learned about the musical elements or this building block of music, your unit continues to tell you about teaching and learning through the musical elements. Now what this section is telling you, that it is fundamental that learners should have a solid foundation in music. The reason for this is every year that you teach new things, they are building on what they've learned or studied in the previous year. So if they haven't mastered the required learning in the first year, they are unable to develop and build on these knowledge in subsequent years. It works exactly the same as when you would teach a student to read. If a student hasn't mastered the sight words, he won't be able to build on that in the coming years. So it's essential that the basic foundation of music is laid correctly and that students master this before you move on to the next section. Now, if we use an example of music, a sense of pulse is developed through firstly only tapping by the beat as you're listening to music. However, in subsequent years, this sense of pulse is developed, so a student is able to play and sing with that beat internalized. In other words, it's part of them. They don't have to tap it out anymore. They can keep that pulse in their head. Okay, we're moving on to the significance of music education. Now, this section provides information on why and how music is important to a learner's education. Okay? Music improves learning. That's the next section that we're looking at. And this section explains why music can help learners to improve school performance. Now, these are two very straightforward sections. That's why I'm not explaining them in detail and just giving you the generalized idea of what these sections are about. Now, we're moving on to the aims and benefits of drama education. Now, drama education have got 5 aims and benefits. I'm going to go through each one of these and try and explain to you what they mean. Now, the first aim and benefit of drama education is the following. The aim of drama is to provide learners with experiences in which the intellect, the emotions, the imagination, and the body are all involved and developed through expression, performance, observation, and reflection. This sounds like a huge mouthful, but what does it actually mean? So it tells you that drama aims to create opportunities or experiences in which your whole body, your mind, your emotions, what you feel, your imagination, what you can think, and your body are all part of the process and are all developed through expression, that is, expressing yourself by performing it to somebody, by observation and otherwise looking at somebody else's performance, and reflection. That means thinking about what you have done. Okay. The second aim and benefit of a drama education is that drama is a form of action in which some aspects of the human experience is portrayed. It's an exploration of experiences and situations through enactment. In drama, learners learn about themselves and others by creating characters and situations. Another mouthful, but what does it mean? So in other words, what this the second aim and benefit is telling you, that drama is actually giving you a chance to explore what it is like to be human. It gives you the opportunity, for example, to explore what it would be like if you lose somebody close to you, if somebody close to you dies. It allows you to experience the emotions by either looking at how somebody else is doing it or by role-playing it yourself, okay, without actually having to go through that in real life. Okay, so you are able to explore those feelings and connect with those feelings. And through doing that, you learn about yourself and your own feelings, and you learn also about others and how they respond maybe to your feelings or how you respond to them. So this is what this aim and benefit is telling you. The third aim and benefit says that drama provides a powerful means of exploring the way people react and respond to different situations, issues, and ideas. So what this means, if you have, for example, a role-playing improvisation on how people will, on a hurricane, if a hurricane hits you and your house is being blown away, if there's, all the actors will react to this situation differently. And by seeing how others react to this make-believe situation, you are able to explore, why are they feeling like that? Why am I not feeling like that? And this is what this aim and benefit means. Number 4, drama provides a particular valuable means of increasing self-confidence and social awareness. Learners are involved physically as well as emotionally and intellectually. They learn through doing. What this aim and benefit is telling you, that drama builds self-confidence. Through partaking in drama, learners are more confident in themselves, and they are also socially aware. This means they are aware of others, they are aware of others' feelings, they are aware of social situations, they are aware of how to handle themselves in social situations. And this happens because the learner is involved with his body physically as well as emotionally, in other words, what he is feeling, and also intellectually in what he's thinking. Now this harpers back to that first aim and benefit, which says that it uses the entire body and feelings and everything of the learner. This is the same way. And through using your body and your head and what you are feeling, you are learning through doing. Okay. Now the last aim and benefit of drama education is that drama is a cooperative process through which learners develop their ability to share and communicate. What this is telling you is that you are not creating a drama on your own. When you are giving students the opportunities to do drama activities, they have to work as a team. And they have to learn those valuable social skills that working as a team requires in order to come up with a drama performance. So what this then means is that they develop skills like sharing and communication, which is of vital importance in life. Okay, now we are moving on to section 1.2, some theories about music therapy. Now, music therapy is a form of medical treatment for emotional, physical, or psychological problems. And music therapy uses music in all its forms to improve or maintain a patient's health. Okay? So this is the definition of music therapy. Now, music therapy takes place over 7 steps, namely assessment, which means what? Let me just firstly give the 7 steps. Assessment, goal formulation, selection of music, building relationships or therapeutic resonance, self-awareness and empowerment, applying strategies, and closing and evaluation. Assessment is, in other words, when the patient comes to the music therapist and they assess the situation. They assess, they see what is wrong, how the therapist can help the patient, or what the patient is requiring from the music therapist. In goal formulation, the music therapist and the patient sets a goal of, this means what they want to achieve through music therapy, whether this may be, for example, to ease depression. Okay, that would be a goal. Thirdly is the selection of music. So now the therapist and the patient select certain music that is applicable to the assessment that's done and the goal formulation that has taken place. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to listen to music. It means that you can talk to about music or investigate music. This is about music in all its forms. Now, after the music has been selected, there starts a process called building relationships or therapeutic resonance. In other words, you are building a relationship to what you want to achieve, between what you want to achieve and where the patient is now, and you're building this bridge by using the music. So it needs to, in other words, have relevance. That's what therapeutic resonance is implying. It needs to have relevance to building that bridge to where we are now to where we want to be. Now, once that bridge is being built through the music, the next step will be self-awareness and empowerment. In other words, why am I feeling this way? Why do I want to achieve this? And empowerment, in other words, feeling better, feeling empowered, getting there, building that bridge, taking that steps to get to the goal. The second last step is applying strategies. So now the therapist and the patient is looking at what strategies, what things can the patient do in order to keep on building that bridge and crossing that bridge to get from where he or she is now to where they want to be. And the last thing is, in a session, would be closing and evaluating. And during closing and evaluating, that will be, in other words, what have we done throughout the session? The session is now at an end, and was the session worth it? Okay? Did we accomplish what we set out to do? And all of those things. Now, as you can see, the section in your study guide is actually a lot longer. You need to know all of the information about music therapy. What I'm just giving you is the basic gist and stuff that you are having trouble with quite often. We are now moving on to section 1.3, the role of music and songs in people's cultures and lives. What this section is aiming to tell you is why music is such an important part of our lives and why it has such a great influence in our lives and why it's such an important part of our various cultures. Now, if you have trouble understanding this section, I want you to think of the part that music has played in your own life. For example, what do you use music for? Do you use music to relax? Do you use music to energize you? Do you use music to celebrate when you've done something? Do you use music to worship? Okay, all of these things are ways that we can use music. Also, if you think about the powerful means that music have, if you hear a certain song, how it can take you back to a certain time in your life. Okay, so think about this and then you read and then learners section. We're moving on to section 1.4, the importance of music as a medium of teaching and learning. Now this section deals with the importance of using music to teach children. Now there are 12 reasons why it's important to use music to teach children. These are, and I'm listing them now, I'm not explaining them, I'm listing them. Music helps develop self-esteem. Music helps develop listening skills. Music helps to develop math skills. Music helps stimulate brain connections. Music and movement go together. Music relieves stress. Music makes transitions easier. Music encourages creativity in learners. And music is a great way to teach learners with special needs. Now, in your study guide, each one of these facts are explained. And you need to know the explanation of why that fact is an important factor to teach music to children. For example, if you look at music helps stimulate brain connections, okay? The explanation for that in your study guide is that various studies have been done and they see that when students listen to music, they have a higher brain functioning, okay? So that is the reason, in other words, for why I can say that music helps stimulate brain connections. Now, if for this question you are asked to list the reasons why it's important to use music to teach children, you just list them like I have done. But if you are asked to explain them as well, then you have to give the fact and you have to give the explanation or the reason as to why that fact is true, like I've done now with music helps to stimulate brain connections, okay? We're moving on to section 1.5, and this is some principles that underpin drama performance. Now, this is a long section, but the entire section aims to explain the inner workings of a drama performance. In other words, how does a drama performance work? Why is it interesting to watch drama? And to clarify why drama is an important part of children's development. Okay? Now, the principles of drama, that is technically the rules of drama. In other words, if you want to do a drama performance, these are the rules that you have to follow. And if you want to have a successful drama performance, you have to adhere to these rules. So make sure you understand them and know them, because the last section or the last part of this section actually explains the practical use of the principles of drama very clearly. It gives you the principle of drama and then it gives you how it works within a real world setting. So make sure that you carefully read this and understand this. The example is not something that you necessarily have to study. I'm not going to ask you to give me a real-life example of the principle of drama. However, in order to understand the principle, you need to know how it is applied in real life. So make sure you read that section. We are now moving over to section 1.6, the application of music in sport and advertising. This section provides information and clear practical examples on how music can be used in sport. It's not necessary for me to explain that because it's explained very clearly in your study guide. So go through that and make sure that you know that very well. The following 6 elements are listed for the use of music in advertising. It's listed as entertainment, structure and continuity, memorability, lyrical language, targeting, and authority establishment. Now, I thought this is such confusing, actually, elements that I'm going to try and explain it to you at the hand of a McDonald's advert that was very popular about a couple of years ago, and I hope that you've seen it. The McDonald's ad is the I'm Loving It campaign that featured Justin Timberlake. I hope you have all seen it. Now, the element of entertainment within that I'm Loving It campaign is because Justin Timberlake, which is a very popular artist, was singing it and was actually featured in some of the ads or some of the advertisements. It made the advertisement more interesting and it made it more attractive, so more people wanted to watch it because it provided entertainment for them. So the purpose of using Justin Timberlake's music was to entertain people, so more people wanted to watch it and associate it. Then also music helps with structure and continuity in an advertisement. This means that it helps to tell the story. Because if you think about it, a story only has 30 seconds to tell their story, to sell their product. So music helps to tell that story quickly, okay? Memorability. So the more, if you use music, you can remember a product easier. For example, the I'm Loving It campaign, the jingle was, if I remember correctly, na 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 na, I'm loving it. And the moment that you hear that, of course, you're going to think about McDonald's. Okay, now lyrical language, that's how you are giving a message to your audience without actually using actual words. So without having a person standing there eating a McDonald's burger and saying, oh, this is delicious, I'm loving it. All you see are people that are enjoying life, that are eating burgers, and you're hearing your musical jingle, na 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 na, I'm loving it. So just that jingle is actually telling you how delicious these McDonald's hamburgers are. So it's not needed to spell it out in words in the advertisement as well. Then targeting. The music that you use within an advertisement actually helps you to target the correct audience. Now, obviously, using Justin Timberlake, if you think about that, it's a certain demographic, a certain type of person that was targeted, somebody that knew who Justin Timberlake was, somebody young, somebody liking that music. So, of course, that's very easy then to target that demographic if you use the correct music. And the last one is authority establishment. In other words, it gives, or it allows people, it allows the advertisement to actually appeal to its target audience. So, in other words, so it's nice to look at. It's a nice thing. It's a nice jingle. Okay? So, all of these 6 elements, or music, oh, my English is going haywire. These 6 elements, in other words, that music is useful in advertisement is, in other words, to help bring the message, to convey the message, to help the target audience remember the product. And that's what music is used for. Okay, we're moving over to section 1.7, the life and work of some famous historical movie actors. Now, this section provides you information on 9 historical movie actors, and you need to be able to shortly discuss each and every one. Now, here's a study tip for you. If you find it hard to distinguish and remember the different actors, okay, look them up on the internet. Your study guide actually gives you examples of the most memorable movies that they've made. Try just to watch sections of this or photos, and this will actually help you to differentiate, in other words, to tell these actors apart and to remember what they have done. Unit 1. Section 1.8, on the other hand, looks at some famous Namibian and African actors and performance. So it provides information on 5 African and Namibian actors and or performance. Now, you also need to be able to shortly discuss each one. Once again, the study tip, if you find it hard to tell these artists apart or remember them, look for the examples on their work on the internet. For example, or listen to their music, and that way you will be able to distinguish between them. The last section of Unit 1 is 1.9, the types of careers in music and drama. Now, this section provides you information on the different jobs that you can do in the music and drama section. It's once again a straightforward section that you can just read and study. And that is the entire unit. Now, at the beginning of each unit, you are provided with learning activities. Okay? After watching this presentation, I hope you have a clearer activities of what the unit is about, and that means that it also should be easier for you to read the unit, to go through the unit from the beginning to the end, and then once you've done that, to actively engage with the learning activities. In other words, do the learning activities, do the questions, answer the questions. And once you've done that, turn to the end of the unit and look for the feedback on the learning activities and see if you have answered those questions correctly. If you've not answered the questions correctly, it means that you misunderstood some information. Go back to that part and reread it, restudy it, and please ask me questions if you are not sure. Then this is the end of the presentation. I just want to reiterate, this presentation is just here to clarify the content of your Unit 1. It's not meant to be your exam presentation. It's not telling you what you should focus or study on for the exam. It's just giving you a bigger picture and a clearer picture of your information in Unit 1. You still need to study and read all of the information. This is just obviously just a general gist, and then just highlight some of the problem areas. Please contact me if you have any questions. Thank you very much.